Pantheon presumably are banned. Yunara doesn't need to be banned by DNF because obviously it was taken away by Fearless.
True. That might solve some issues for them.
Yeah.
But Jarvan is also not available as well. Sivir is also not available because that was picked into Jarvan. That was a large issue in game number 1. Aurora, like you were talking about, is going to be banned away.
Setting up for a Gwen first pick, maybe?
Nope.
Not anymore.
No.
No fun allowed.
Setting up for a Gwen first ban.
Yeah. And they're banning Pantheon.
This is going to prevent the enemy team and themselves from playing Pantheon.
Interesting.
Does this mean that Azir is going to be their priority?
I mean, DNF are definitely banning Azir.
Well,
I say that with 100% certainty.
I hope.
As only someone who is casting a Rise Group game can.
I hope they ban it as well and then ban Poppy. Because then they can demonstrate what happened in the bottom. Never mind.
That is not Azir.
Geo Gisser. As the Ziggs ban comes on through here for DK.
Okay. That's Azir. There we go.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you know how I feel about Ziggs, but
yeah.
I don't necessarily expect him to be banned first rotation.
Okay, well, let's see what the first pick is going to be. A lot of things that are pretty high priority have actually already been taken away, like the Talia and like the Annie. Nothing really standing out as far as... Okay, the Vi is, of course, a big one for Lucid.
Yeah,
they will lock that one in.
I think especially with so many junglers taken away, kind of stands out. It doesn't. You could take Poppy into it, though.
Oh, yeah, true. Well, the Rise is going to be the answer to the mid lane. Certainly feeling like the highest priority one. And there is the Corki. Some pretty big picks to be locked away here by the DN Freecs. Rise has had sort of middling performance as far as the outcomes are concerned, but Corki has been very strong in the right hands. But this does give Vi Ahri over if they'd like to take it. You could also take Vi Ahri Poppy to avoid getting poppied. But it does put your Poppy pretty face up. Obviously, you can flex it towards the top side of the map, but I don't know whether you necessarily want to. Let's see exactly what does happen. Also, you do become a bit susceptible to a trundling.
Yeah, you can't take Kai'Sa here. If you want to get your hands on something like the Zeri or even the Varus, now is kind of the time.
Or the Renekton.
I mean, you can take Renekton here, but I'm just saying, you know, if you want to prioritize your AD carry, you're going to have to do it now, or it's going to get targeted, I feel.
Yeah.
For the DM Freecs, maybe just match top if there's something you really think you want to secure into that. Looks like they're looking at jungle, though.
Well, they're cycling through a bunch of stuff. The Hecarim was certainly a lot of fun for Pyosik. And they're just going to lock Kindred. Okay, this is the last game for the DN Freecs.
I mean, also thematically does work into what Dplus have given. Like, one of the things with Ahri is that reset potential, killing targets, getting the resets, getting the momentum. Same with the Vi and the Renekton, single target CC to find that momentum. Kindred is a momentum killer in fights, so...
True. And also, like, this is Pyoshik's namesake, and getting a Kindred game in before the end of the season for the DN Freecs is just a beautiful thing.
I had a question for you.
What's that?
So, I know of two really well-known pro players who are known for their Kindred. And I was wondering, who do you think is better? Pyoshik from the LCK or Mark from the LCS? Who do you think is a better Kindred?
That's such a big one. Well, Pyoshik did win a World Final.
That's true.
But Mark in that match against T1 Worlds 2023, oh man, he wasn't playing the Kindred in that moment though. He was playing Lee Sin. So I don't know. I'd probably go with the LCK one.
That's fair. I just thought I'd ask you.
Yeah, no, it's a really good question though, because they're such similar players. Looks kind of similar as well.
Yeah.
If you told me that they were related, I would believe you.
I guess Kindred players just they have
cut from the same cloth, as it were.
Okay, Ezreal ban comes through away from Dplus. I feel like this is a pretty Zeriable angle, I feel like.
Ooh.
For aiming, honestly. I could see him bringing it out there. Poppy ban does come through. Obviously something they could play in support, but would have a decent amount of value into what Dplus have brought. And it looks like it's just going to be the Rel for life. There's a lot of the engaged supports. Actually, not that many engaged supports gone, all things considered. There was still like the Rakan up, but like happy to take the Rel in this situation.
Yep, the Nautilus was available as well, but is banned here. Leona is up, so that is something that they could go towards. Or the Lucian Braum. Keep it mid-game, you know, and mid-range by the looks of things at the same time.
Oh, this this is Dplus are not here for a long time.
No, they are here for a good time. Or not a good time. We will just have to see, because I think Lamb's Respite might be able to get a fair bit of value in this game as the Dusante is being picked up. I actually kind of love Cassante when you've got a Kindred, because you just get to put down the Lamb's Respite and then Dudu gets to pick which one dies.
Yep.
Just pulls someone out and takes them down. This is kind of fun, this team composition here from the DN Freecs. On the Dplus Kia side, they are going to win in the mid-game, or they are going to die a horrible death, is kind of how it's going to be.
Very true. I also feel like the Rise pretty good into the Yari. You know, I feel like the bot lane matchup can be a little bit tricky, but once the Corki gets rolling, he's going to be fine. So I think DNF, I mean, it really comes down to the Kindred as well. Such a Feast of Famine champion.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes, but I think the fact that the mid lane matchup is good gives a lot of hope for what Yoshi can do on this pick.
I'm very interested in how this one's going to go. I love the send-off, the fact that Pioshik can play his Kindred in the final game, and they've got a composition for it that kind of works. You know, they've got some frontline in the Cassante, like you were talking about, the Rise in a good matchup, and I think the bottom lane should be just fine, even if the Braum Lucian has found some value. A bit harder for, you know, this Braum to really live up to its potential when it's being piloted by Beryl, you know? Braum and Bard are the opposite sides of the spectrum. You know what I mean? That's what I sort of feel. Let's think on that as we get onto the Rift.
시간차의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are onto the Rift. I don't know whether you necessarily needed to think about the spectrum of Braum to Bard. As I let it sit, kind of felt weird about it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Because they, but you know,
who is on the far end of, like, on the opposite end of the Bard in that spectrum, though? Would it be more like Karma? Or Janna or something? Soraka?
What are you judging the spectrum on?
So it's more about, like, variance of performance possible.
Oh. So, like, who has, like, really consistent performances?
Yeah, as a champion, not necessarily as a, like, a player. But, like, Bard performances can be, like, horrific or amazing, you know, with how Tempered Fate works. Oh my god, Yuumi is the other side of the coin. You are absolutely correct. Yep. Bangu02 in chat also pointing it out immediately. Respect to you as well. No, that is absolutely true.
I do have an important point to raise.
Please.
So, it's been widely agreed that when it comes to Corki skins, there's a correct choice.
Yes.
But we do have a new Corki skin.
Yeah, the new contender.
What do we think? I mean, obviously, the Corgi skin is phenomenal.
It is.
I'm not saying this is dethroning it, but this one does seem pretty cool.
And so I thought it was still definitely the Corgi skin until I saw the little eggs that it's clutching.
Valkyrie.
Oh, it's... No,
Have you seen the Valkyrie drops?
Yeah, it drops the eggs, but have you noticed here...
Oh, yeah, it's got
little eggs in the claws. So, like, as you're Valkyrieing, drops and fries the eggs on the way through.
Oh, my God. You know what it makes me think of?
What does it make you think
Chicken Run.
Yes! Oh, that movie was actually so good.
Yeah.
Isn't the cast in that movie, like, absurd as
Honestly,
well?
I watched it when I was a kid, so I don't even know who the cast was, but it was a banger.
It might be a different one that I'm thinking of, but I'm pretty sure they had some pretty amazing actors in that film. We could look it up. I mean, we've got an early game.
I know Fantastic Mr. Fox has a banger.
Yeah. That's the one with, like, George Clooney and Brad Pitt and stuff, I think.
It does have
one of the two.
Mel Gibson was in Chicken Run.
Was he?
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Apocalypto, but otherwise. Is that the only notable name in Chicken Run?
Yeah.
Is that really what happened?
See who you recognize.
Oh, God, you're right. Oh, I take it back. Chicken One wasn't exactly the greatest, but Fantastic Mr. Fox is probably what I was thinking about.
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is pretty star-studded. That is also a great film.
Yeah. I feel I just got owned. All right, Dudu and Shu facing off here on the top side. This is a matchup that we have seen about 1 billion times. Good old Renekton versus Cassante. And it is about the same that it used to be, except that now Dominus is better. And so the Renekton's probably feeling a little bit better than he used to. Pureshik will be able to roll high by the looks of things. Is that a mark on the first one?
Oh.
Has he nailed it?
I don't know. I'm looking around the screen.
I don't think so.
No.
So I think he low rolled.
Yeah.
Sometimes you lose the 50-50.
Can we just... Can you FF now? Just if you don't...
Yeah, yes. Can I have a redo?
Yeah.
I think sometimes it just needs to happen like that with Kindreds.
You know what I feel like they should do?
What should they do?
They should make it so Kindred always gets a mark from his first scuttle, and then bounce him around that. Because I think the 50-50, I'm going to say it, I think it's a little cringe.
It is a little cringe.
It's just the whole game being bigger on whether...
But isn't it like the most Pureshik thing in the world to burger flip an entire game off one happenstance in the early game?
Yeah, but I feel like it's more fun. I like the Kindred burger flips I like is when it's like, let's invade the enemy jungler at level 2, and if I kill him, we win. If I don't, we lose. Those are the ones I like.
Yeah, I guess you have a bit more agency there. You decide whether you want to throw the game for yourself or not.
Exactly.
Whereas the Rift decides for
It's
Kindred.
just, yeah.
And obviously it's not that, like it's not all over. But what was like, we had a Kindred performance where it was like, they had 3 marks by like 30 minutes or something like that. It was just not it. This happened a little while earlier. As DNF are going to find Beryl in a brush, and he holds the door.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like as long as you hit 4's where you get like the big range upgrade and you become a champion. After that, it's kind of whatever. You know, you obviously get buffs every 3. But it's like the buffs after every 3 are a lot more minor, so let's just hope he gets those first 4, and then you're kind of chilling.
Yep. Lucid is going to find a control ward here in this Dragon Pit, as Beryl is so far up, but so is aiming. Does get the door there prepared for himself, as Lucid is going to have to back away, as Pureshik came in to be annoying. Reset is going to come through here on this Dragon.
It's a very early Dragon.
Beryl isn't laning, he's tribe rushing.
This is, yeah, I don't think you want to tango with a Kindred around when you're already low on HP.
Yep, definitely not tangoing. Can confirm, lack of tango. Alright, going to take a little damage here, but does use the crash down for the shield. Yeah. And Bulldog's teleported back does have his tier, as well as a couple of rocks that he's feeling pretty good about.
We've got a bit of a farm lead in the... Oh, there's a
go. Very nicely done.
Using his own skin.
Of course.
Someone will use his own skin.
Beryl doesn't have a Braum skin in his defense.
Yeah, but even if he was playing a champion with which he had a skin for,
yeah,
you know he wouldn't use it.
Yeah, who even knows that he has a skin for Leona and for Ashe?
Yeah.
I think he has used his Ashe skin before.
To be fair, less windows to use the Ashe skin recently.
Yeah, true. And yet, I think he's used that infinitely more times than he's used his Leona skin.
Yeah.
Which I just don't really understand. Because it's a pretty cool skin. I don't know, I use it. But maybe that's because I'm like Beryl fan
also,
number 1.
Base Braum skinning right now.
Yeah, which is odd.
What does he mean
Braum
by
has
this?
some of the greatest skins of all time.
The new Kebab skin?
Yep.
Phenomenal.
I think he almost always uses the Christmas skin as well.
Yeah, the Christmas skin is pretty great. Where you get the sleigh when you're coming out from base with home guards.
Yeah. And being able to block things with a chimney just feels robust, you know?
So good. There's a lot of good skins for Braum.
I mean, the rotisserie is definitely the best.
Yeah.
Like, just kebabs in my League of Legends, extraordinary.
Now you make me hungry.
I mean, it's getting late.
Maybe
if you didn't have dinner, then
maybe
it's
that's
a rough
what happened.
time.
Maybe Beryl was hovering that skin, and then his stomach grumbled, and he went, "No, I can't." And he switched. He was like, "I can't go through a whole game with that skin." So he quickly switched, and he clicked because like since it's your newest skin.
Yeah,
right
true.
The base skin, and that's how he ended up here. We've worked it out.
Yeah, we figured it.
Yeah.
And at least now we know. Well, actually, It might be that it's put the idea into his head and now he's just going to be distracted for the rest of the game anyway, but we will be able to tell based on the gameplay whether or not that has happened. So we'll keep tabs on it, and you guys can play it at home as well.
Fortunately, as professional casters, we won't get distracted.
No, of course not. No, absolutely.
We never get distracted by anything.
Never have. No, not a 1 gold bounty, not a 2 gold bounty, and definitely not a 7 gold bounty. We've never been distracted by them at all. As Beryl's going to get jumped on yet again. This time, Pyosik is there, bringing Lamb and Wolf along with him.
You know, I always think about, because the sort of normal is you put your mark on the enemy jungler. That's what you always see, right? You always put your mark on the enemy jungler. It's very rare to see a different situation.
We all know where Pyosik's mark should be.
That's what I was alluding to. You know, just as he was walking up to that brush, I was thinking it a little bit, like maybe there's a target.
This is how we hit the 4 marks, baby. He is playing Braum, a more frustrating champion to kill.
Yeah.
As Shiu has pressed his R button. That's somewhat subpar. As Pyosik going to give himself a thumbs up, as he does manage to get his second one.
Halfway there.
Oh, Cullen has aiming. Is that the other Uzi skin, by the way? I think it is, right?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe aiming can like win on both Uzi skins in this series. That'd be fun.
Is that all he's going for, really?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a shout out to the 80 carry goat, you know?
I mean, they have already locked their place in play-ins and everything, and their place in the standings. So maybe this was never about anything else.
I mean, when aiming was in the LPL, I'm not entirely sure what his relationship with Uzi was. But maybe they were mates. You never know.
Maybe.
Just trying to give him a bit of a shout out. Or maybe just a lot of respect for one of the best players of all time. Okay. Pyosik is still just clearing out the jungle, but he's only ahead by a little bit as far as farm is concerned compared to Lucid. And DK have about a 500 gold lead, largely based on what aiming has done, which has been accruing a 25 CS lead.
Yep. Decently.
When did that happen? Were we distracted by talking about Beryl?
It happened early on, so I mean it's built up a little bit more since then, but it has happened early on. You know that moment when Beryl was like, when aiming got jumped on by Light. The reason like Beryl was hovering out the lane, they were like pretty aggressively pushing them under the tower and turning them away. So they have had pressure quite a while.
Shiu is now marked.
Not Beryl?
Or Pyosik. Sorry, we should say. And he knows that he's coming on over, but also Shiu is nowhere near the wall. That's a flash in from Dudu. A flash out from Shiu is going to get him to safety, but Lucid's going to take the opportunity to take a dragon here towards the bottom side.
So you get marked, that's one sign. Enemy Cassante all outs you and then flashes on you. I wonder if they're trying to take... I wonder.
Well, he's still going to find Pyosik here.
You know, I think Shiu's intuition did not fail him there.
No, he intuited well.
You know.
But he's still going to lose a plate. It's still 2 of the first objectives going over to DK, though. And they hold on to a gold lead. As Dudu between turrets isn't necessarily as strong as he really wants to be as far as fighting or Renekton there, especially when their health bars are tied. And another wave is going to crash. So Pyosik, is this another mark? I think it might actually be. Yeah, 3.
3. Okay.
My goodness, he is off to the races.
He's nearly there.
That's why they call him Pyosik. He's good at getting the Pyosiks.
There you go. I mean, once he's at 4, you're chilling, honestly. And the thing is, this game has been going pretty slow-paced.
Yeah.
Hence why we've been kind of talking about a lot of other things. But,
I mean, to be honest, in the fast-paced games, we also talk about a lot of other things.
Yeah, but then we use... Okay, you're right. I can't... But at least we can use it as an excuse.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point.
But I think for Dplus, you know, you have this composition where you want to spike at the mid-game, and they still have the potential to do that, but I think DNF just kind of surviving, getting some marks for their jungler, they're going to feel really good about this, right? Bulldog has completed his Rod of Ages, stacking up the tier. Berserker, he's stacking up his tier as well. If you can get to that 2-item spike, get 4 stacks on Pyosik, you're feeling good.
Well, you're also feeling good if you're Lucid here, looking for an angle onto Bulldog, who gets pulled into the red pit and then charmed up. Orbit Ascension comes down, and there is the kill secured. First blood, actually, here at 13 minutes into the game. Kind of late, to be honest. You mentioned already that it was a slow game. I believe you.
I think it would have just been better to hold the flash. I think there's one of those situations where into Vi Ahri, once the Vi is kind of wrapping around behind you, you're just dead.
Yeah.
And the Ahri can always follow because of the fact the ult's available. The fact that they didn't have to use flashes to get you. Yeah, as soon as you see Lucid there, I think it's just all over.
And we know that that was indeed the case.
Like, Showmaker could have even gone over the wall and didn't bother to.
No. And he is shocked Teemo about it as well, as we can see. His Malignance is done. Bit of a bigger spike here than the Rod of Ages, but that will pay off later in this game.
Also nice getting the Ultimate Hunter stack.
Oh dear. Well, Dominus is going to be utilized here by Xiu, but he's just thrown around like a ragdoll and will get taken down by Pyosik, who I believe gets a mark for it. Never mind.
No, he has Vi.
That was still on Vi. Never mind.
We put it back on Vi.
Yeah.
So
Doing a lot of switcheroo.
yeah, deliberating between. Still a good kill to get.
Oh, Relmore gets it out of there.
Wants to play it safe. And Tower picked up as well for DNF, so first of the game.
Yep, second one is going to go down here towards the bottom side, but that'll be a little bit late. So clawing back the gold lead here, and you can see 200 is all that it is now.
I mean, Dudu has a massive lead over Shiwu right now.
Yeah, it's huge. As Berserker also looking for an angle towards Showmaker.
Yeah, he also pops the fist bump as he does it. Makes it look like he wanted to punch.
Sometimes it's about sending a message.
Message received, I think, is the takeaway on this one.
And I think it's interesting because I think a lot of this lead that Dudu has is based on, you know, lane swaps and how things sort of happened in the earlier stages of the game. Like, there's give and take. There's the fact that aiming is ahead and Dudu is ahead on the other side. But the advantage for Dudu is very, very large.
Yeah.
All right, Rift Herald going to get started up. This will be the objective. Feats of Strength going over to DK if they can lock it in. But Pyosik looking for an angle. Dance of Arrows gets him towards Beryl here as there's the culling just to dissuade them from coming over. But everyone's here on DNF's side. Xiu now looking for an angle. Doesn't have flash though, but there's the Vault Breaker to bring them on top of Dudu. The steal for Pyosik is fantastic, but Bulldog just blows up off to the side and over the wall goes Lucid. He's out and he's back in again. I don't know about that one as he just gets magnetized. And the Lamb's Respite comes in. There's the pull away, but I don't know whether that was the target that Dudu really wanted to get. As now Pyosik, he's able to get over the wall, but the rest of them, they just get destroyed. As DK, they lose the objective, but they win everything else.
Yeah, big fight win there for Dplus. They lose out on the Herald. It looks like maybe they're going to lose the fight. Pyosik gets his 4th mark, gets the kill onto the enemy jungler. He's going to get this red. GG.
Beryl didn't quite have the unsealed Spellbook Smite, but did have a Winter's Bite and a Dream.
So they end up kind of peeling into the pit here. Lucid does a lot of damage to Dudu. We see the Rise kind of just gets focused down off to the side and exploded. And then when Lucid goes in the pit, you know, the Redemption comes down. They also have the Kindred ult to buy time. Then Dudu drags the Renekton out and just dies. And then the Braum kind of blocks the rest of them in, and there's just not really anything they can do. I think Dudu kind of made a mistake there with the ult, because they could have just focused down the Renekton and tried to explode him after the ult, and instead dragging him away really just didn't do them any favors.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was referring to before with the fact that you can pull the target away, but maybe don't do it when you have 3 health.
Yeah.
That might be the way.
Against them there.
And perhaps not the Renekton either.
Like, as well, if he'd gotten a heal and then had used his ult to sustain back up a bit, maybe could have more of a fight. Because it would have essentially been a 4v4 coming out of the ult. Maybe if they burst down the Renekton.
Yeah. Could have been a potential angle. Speaking of angles, Beryl is going to be able to stand beside aiming, and that will be able to keep him alive. Yeah, there was a Rise rotating over.
Does have those 4 stacks, so he is starting to be a lot more of a threat now.
Yep, it's scary.
They are down in gold though overall.
Well, Beryl once again going to be taking a fair bit of damage. Has the Redemption in position, and we'll be able to keep him alive with that. As the Drake secured there by DK. It's a Mountain Soul once again here today. I feel like this has been the season of Mountain Souls. Been quite a few of them.
Been a bit rocky.
It has. It certainly has. decent amount of elevation of Dragon. As Bulldog holding onto this wave shoot, going to be patiently waiting for his next one. And he was a huge benefactor of that last situation because he was the big lead, right? Like, that was where Dudu was finding so many angles. And now she is 300 gold ahead.
Yep. I mean, he got so many kills from that ult, Berserk, and a lot of damage to aiming.
Yeah, Winter's Bite is going to miss, so Berserker can continue just throwing rockets relentlessly. And Showmaker looking for an angle here. Let's see whether DNF decided to take the bait. The Showmaker was making his way over, but they do not.
That tower's so low, but so is aiming. So I think it's a little difficult to step up as a unit.
Yeah.
Showmaker will be able to cover the wave and sort of step in his stead, but...
They can take that turret at any time.
Yeah.
Oh man, the fadeaway ignite. I love that. It's a lot of vibes. Lucid will be able to take this Grump and look for another play. 2.5k is the gold lead. It is not insignificant here for DK.
It's very spread across the board in this game, so...
Yeah. Maybe that's why it doesn't feel quite as big, because it's not an individual situation.
Yeah, we've had these... I mean, the last series, it was very much like, oh, 2,000 gold lead, where is it? And there was 80 carries every single time.
All right. Backdoor bonus, not really going to matter too much when Beryl is just happy to tank things up.
Yeah, tower that low, they can just finish it off. Fishy's trying to put down a little bit of pressure. Again, this is the point where Dplus already...
As I said before, Beryl, not a coward. You know, he will always press the button.
He did this on the Nico game as well. Remember when he just
Yeah.
did in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah. I think he was at least aiming towards, theoretically, where life had the potential to be.
Yeah, that's true.
I clutched at a lot of straws, and I think I missed.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot of straws on the floor right now,
Yeah.
alongside that ult.
Yeah. It's just me casting a Beryl game. Pile of straws. Pretty much.
But this is the point where Dplus are already strong. They have a sizable gold lead. They're hitting that 2-item spikes, you know. Aiming's already on his. Showmaker just picked up the Storm Surge. So I think really this is a point where with Arakan up and available,
Yeah.
Dragon Soul point in 2 minutes, they can start to try and look for really breaking this game open.
Or throwing the game away.
Also very, very possible and very funny.
That would be. All right, let's see whether they go for the comedic angle. Right now, they do have full vision of the Arakan area.
Are they who are our most comedic team?
Bro? Question mark? Probably DK. It's whatever team has Beryl on it, in my opinion.
Yeah, they can be pretty funny.
Because bro aren't funny, they're wholesome.
Yeah, I also find it pretty funny because, you know, obviously, Konak was a big Dplus fan, so it makes it even more funny.
It does add to the funny.
Yeah.
He was very funny on the space. I did like his breakdown. And not like breaking down the play, more like just him breaking down.
It works on so many levels.
It does. He's so good at his job. He does it. He does the thing in multiple different ways. As all right, we're going for it yet again. The ulti's back up, not punished for dropping those straws on the floor. As DNF getting pushed out of their own jungle. They are a long way away from the Arakan now. As this red buff looking to get secured, and there it goes. Will be picked up by Showmaker.
It's very hard for them to contest space right now. Obviously respectful of Dplus. Cullen doing a lot of damage. Beryl not ulting there in that moment, holding on to it.
He is an enigma, is he not?
He's saving it for a more pristine moment.
He's saving it for when he's alone in the jungle.
Yeah, of course. Okay, I think Arakan maybe going to be ignored a little bit with Dragon spawning in 20. It's still a big lead for Dplus. That's a lot of damage though.
Owie, yep.
But we have completed 2 items for Shiu, for Lucid. Berserker's close to having his Manamune stacked up. Very close, very close. Bulldog is close to having his Seraph a little further away.
Ow, man, this 2-item Ari is actually kind of hurting.
Oh, he needs that Manamune stacked up.
Oh, Seraph's is done. Shiu on a flank angle, though. The entirety of DNF are grouped up. They get control of the mid lane. That is at least something. As this is Soul Point, it's a big deal. Banana Brush control is there for DNF. They have that ward in the pit. Xiu still lying in wait. Control ward goes down, finds the Crocodile, who only gets a slice. And now they dive in on top of Dudu. Xiu able to get himself out of there as Dudu is able to pull them in, but the Lamb's Respite, just the corner of it there for Lucid was very, very funny. As there's the all-out, Dudu getting himself out again once more. And it is just Beryl that's on the ground. Never mind, I say that. And now it is Lucid that's dead as well. How did that even happen? The Realm Warp brings Bulldog over, and that is going to be the end of aiming. We thought that it was going to be the Otacon throw, but it was the Soul Point throw instead.
Berserker.
Yep, here's the angle. He does get the Valkyrie in. The flash comes out, the flash to follow, and Berserker picks it up. Pioshik going to be able to grab a dragon here for DNF. And this game is all tied up now.
That's the momentum killer that comes through. The Kindred buying so much time. The reset's not able to come in. And so many members of DNF surviving on such low amounts of HP.
So much of that made absolutely no sense as well. All of these health bars were on basically nothing.
Max. It's Rise Group.
That doesn't mean it makes sense. It's an explanation.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
So we see Dudu gets caught out here, manages to drag himself into the Kindred ult here and survive. And then we get the Returnal that comes down, Beryl goes down, Xiu tries to engage, gets dragged away immediately. And look, Dudu gets out so low.
Just double dashes.
And then they jump onto Pioshik, who just survives there at the end.
God!
Storm Surge procs, but the Triumph comes in first and keeps him alive. Because they both have a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this chase down that comes, and Showmaker didn't get the resets on his ult because of people surviving on low HP because of the Kindred ult. And as a result,
say something that rhymes with Bolt.
They halt? That doesn't...
not too bad.
Yeah. That progress is... Yeah, I don't know, man. I've lost it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't give you very much time.
Yeah, rhyming's kind of hard as we learned. You and Chronicler learned the other day on
I tried to play... I actually, accepted it, and I was like, okay, let's try and just rhyme off the last word of each other's sentences and see how long it takes people to catch on. And then we just didn't do it for the entirety of the game, actually.
It'll take people a long time to catch on. Don't rhyme.
Yeah, they didn't catch on, as it turned out.
Yeah.
Pioshik did officially go down to 1 HP, by the way. Now DNF are on the Otacon. And DK are here, Lucid in position. The culling comes down, life already down very, very low as Pioshik is the only one knocked up by that ulti from Beryl. Still, DK have that redemption, and it is going to be Pioshik that locks down the objective now. They're looking for a potential fight as, oh dear, the charm connects onto Bulldog, but he gets into the Lamb's Respite, and oh no, the Rel is going to miss out. There is the ult from Lucid, and now the resets finally come in. Xiu and Dudu just doing their own fight off to the side here. Xiu wants none of it, but that is 3 for 1, and DK will take that any day of the week. It's basically clean, because Beryl dying is just normally part of the plan.
Yeah, not ideal for DNF, but they got the Atacon. I think that's a big takeaway. The question is, can Dplus translate it into a Baron? There's some low health bars here. No TP on Dudu. Berserker's in the vicinity.
Yeah, they don't really have any idea that this is going down.
If they get the Baron, then definitely worth the Dplus.
We will put that one down as a pros column item. 100%. Xiu is going to be able to make his way in here. This is definitely gone. As DK, they're going to say, you can have your Otacon, we'll take a Baron, and we'll attempt to make an insurmountable lead. Sorry to mention you again, surmountable.
Yeah, so they tank a lot of damage from the Otacon for the culling. They heal it up with the redemption. They drag it away. Dudu's very low already. They manage to take it out with burst damage, but then Bulldog ends up stepping up too far, gets caught by that charm.
That charm was pretty huge.
Yeah, so they move in with the Kindred ult, but unfortunately the Rel doesn't make it in time, gives the reset to the Ahri, which gives that momentum when the Kindred ult ends, and they just start to clean up the kills, so I think ultimately a bit of a mistake there from Bulldog. I think just didn't need to move forwards there.
Yeah.
Risk the charm. They already got the objective, could have just backed away.
And you can sort of see the tightrope that DNF have to walk in this game as well, because as soon as one of them goes down, the reset for the Ahri comes in, they get to go to the next target. Brom's so good in these pick one, then the next style of compositions.
Yeah, I mean, this comp is so good at you just see a single target, take that target down, move to the next. Very much achieves that. And as soon as the Kindred ult drops, there's not too much of a barrier to present that. Sorry.
All right, DK back with an advantage once again. But as we learned in that last fight, or the one before the last one, anything is throwable. It was a big lead for DK. And this Rebel Baron power play hasn't quite gone to absurd levels, right? It's a very early one. That means that often you don't get quite as much value. But still, DK very, very happy to have control because it means Soul Point is well and truly on the cards.
Yep, 35 seconds away, and Baron's still going to be up for them, so they can keep things pushed up and look to play for that. All they have to be cautious about is a big engage, but I think so many members of Dplus are quite mobile. It's very hard to find an engage angle onto a Lucian or an Ahri unless they really overstep.
Yeah, Lucy going to find this control ward over the wall. And DNF, at least dealing with this wave quite well. There's another one is going to crash towards this inner turret. That is just going to die. So that will be the prize here for DK. Extending that gold lead ever further, ticking over to about 5k. There it is. 2.4, not too bad as far as the Rebel Baron power play is concerned, and especially if they get themselves this Soul Point. And they're being corralled. Lucid able to get on in here by himself. And there thankfully is like actually some vision that DNF got down earlier that could theoretically spot a few people moving over. They do have pings down onto Showmaker, but unfortunately, they're just too far away.
Doing a good job of maintaining the pressure. Beryl is obviously holding the fort down.
Stopping backs with redemptions.
Yeah.
He is pretty alone, but does have Lucid, I guess, off to the side there. Aiming does turn up eventually. I always get a bit worried, you know? All right, Winterspike going to tag Dudu here. Does get hit by the ulti as well, as this Cassante extraordinarily low, but will survive. As remember, they have 3 grubs as well. Like, look at the tick damage onto the turret.
Rabadon's just picked up a Showmaker, so his burst is kind of insane now.
Oh, doesn't quite have the Magi's complete yet. That's when you know he means business.
And I think, unfortunately, that Atacam point, despite DNF getting it, giving over the Baron, such a massive gold lead for Dplus. And I think it's once again in a difficult spot.
Yeah, finding myself still on the edge of my seat though. 5.5k gold lead. If it was Gen G, I'd be like, well, we can pack it up. But it's DK, anything's throwable.
Oh, it certainly is. I picked up for aiming.
That's
a big
4 items. He's a big boy.
Zika's not that far away. Again, there's no one who's individually had specifically a massive gold lead. It's just spread around quite a bit.
And as a result, it means that Beryl has equal biggest gold lead.
Yeah, of course. And he spent that money well. Look, he has the upgraded plated steel caps.
Yeah.
Lock it.
Absolutely. There's a Magnet Storm though to land onto 2. Out goes Beryl though. He puts up the door. Sometimes you engage, but it's on to 2 of the tankiest members of the team.
Well, they get a flash of Lucid, which is something, but...
And the redemption.
Oh, TP flank coming in.
Yep, double teleports coming down as Bulldog once again pretty close to this one, but there's the charm onto Dudu. He has to flash to get himself out of the way. Lucid testing the waters here, but the culling is just going to melt the Rel, and off to the side. Dudu has once again opted in for a 1v1 that Showmaker will say is not, in fact, one of those. The flash forward, but the auto will follow this Corki, and Pioshik, he is in the Lamb's respite, but he has to dash out of it, and that means it's a triple kill for Showmaker, who gets enough of these resets. Bulldog was backing on a control ward, which is not exactly optimal. And in goes Lucid to lock down the kill onto the Rise. That will secure the ace in trade for 1 Crocodile. And DK, even though it was a long series, it was still a victory here in the end. Unfortunately for DNF, not able to make their way through, but at least we got a Pioshik Kindred game in the end, and they kept it interesting. That was a good play around the Otacon that unfortunately went a little bit wrong, and DK were able to reign supreme.
Yeah, I think not exactly an unexpected result, but a very Rise group of series.
It was an absolute joy.